Welcome to the Situation Room. I'm James Cary and I'm all about helping you write better sitcom scripts. And today we're thinking again about characters because they're not just the most important part of your sitcom, they are your sitcom. So how do we create characters? Now, I don't know if you went through that phase of playing Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, I did. And years ago, I used to, roll up characters. You get some dice and you have these sort of 6 attributes that they have. I can't remember what they are. Dexterity, strength, intelligence, wisdom. I can't remember. You roll dice and then that's how intelligent they are, how strong they are, or whatever. And there's hit points as well, I seem to remember. And then you pick a character type as well. Are they a warrior? And then are they lawful, good, or chaotic, neutral? And then you're kind of, and then hey presto, you've got a character. Now, okay, that's fine for a game, but it's not okay for a sitcom. Because if you're going to create a sitcom, then you need much more depth than that, because you need to know why they're doing stuff. You don't need to know what they're like. They're not a set of attributes or adjectives or even activities. Your sitcom characters need to want something. They need to go on a quest. And not just in the first episode, but in every episode. In 6, 12, 30, 100 episodes, they're going to need quests to go on. And so they're going to want stuff. They need to want to do stuff. And also they're going to kind of need to know what is the big Uber quest that is joining all of those quests together. What are they trying to get out of life? So even if you've got one big long story in your show, which I have to say I don't particularly recommend, but we can talk about that another time, they're going to still have to have mini quests all the way along the line, aren't they? They're going to have little adventures. So there has to be a reason why they are pursuing that little mini goal each week, and what is the bigger story that then fits into. So why would your character want to achieve those goals? What do they want? Now, it may be, if you're going over and look at my blog, there's some stuff about this as well. And also on a webinar that I did, I'll tell you about at the end. What does your character want? Let's say your character wants to cook. Okay, they like cooking. So that's an activity. And you've sort of defined them by an activity. Now, it may be that you've got a sitcom where you've got someone who is a fireman or a lifeboat guard, or they are a soldier, or it may be that they're a midwife, it could be they're a headmistress, whatever it is. You need to think, why are they doing that? What are they trying to get out of it? I mean, it could be just a job that they've fallen into, but that's going to get annoying after a while. It's worth thinking, if their hobby is dominant, what is their hobby and why are they doing it? If their job is dominant, it's about them in the workplace. Why are they doing it? How are they trying to make the world a better place, or fit it all, or create order by doing it? So let's just take an example of cooking. Over on the blog, I talk about Jessica. She loves to cook. She's young, she's energetic, she's positive. She's obsessed with cooking. She's always cooking, loves food. She loves ingredients. She loves going to farmers markets to get the best and most natural ingredients. Her fridge is always full of things to cook, and her freezer's full of things that she has cooked. Does that sound like a sitcom character? No, it doesn't. It sounds like one, but it isn't one, actually. So Jessica wants to cook. Fine, but that's not enough. You can't actually write that character yet. That's just activities. And we can easily be fooled into thinking that we can start plotting our characters and then writing jokes for them. Because there's lots of specificity there, isn't there? Some easy storylines right there. Dinner party. She goes to farmer's market. She needs a bigger fridge. She finds something in the freezer, doesn't know what it is. She gives somebody food poisoning. Her pressure cooker explodes. But actually, these aren't stories, and they're not even plots. They're events. Okay? They're good story starters, so hold on to them. And you come back to those another time. And again, in my writing video course, Writing Your Sitcom, I go through how to plot stuff like that. So do keep an eye out for that. There's a link to that course in the show notes below. You don't need events. You don't need stories or plots. You need quests for your characters. And so why is your character doing these things? Why is Jessica cooking? Okay, what is that really about? Because it needs to matter that she succeeds or fails. So a dinner party goes wrong. Who cares? Why was she emotionally invested in that? What was she hoping to get out of it? Let's say she can't get the ingredients she wants at the farmer's market. Who cares? Why was she trying to get ingredients from the farmer's market? Why is the pressure cooker exploding a disaster? Obviously, it's a threat to life, but it means that she now can't cook that thing and she's going to let that person down. Well, why was she doing that thing? Why was she cooking it? At the moment, we don't know. But just as an example, I choose cookery because there are lots of TV chefs out there. And actually, it looks like they're teaching you how to cook. But they're not actually. They're teaching you a lifestyle. They've clearly got really key values to their cooking. And so cooking is part of those values. So whether it's Jamie Oliver, Nigella Lawson, Hugh Furling-Whittingstall, Mary Berry, Gordon Ramsay, Prue Leith, Delia Smith, Heston Blumenthal, Nigel Slater, why do they all cook? Or why did they all cook? So for Jamie Oliver, it's all about family and togetherness. His wife, Jules, and his kids. He's got loads of kids now, hasn't he? He was brought up in a pub. He's all about family and community. Gordon Ramsay is about excellence and professionalism. He goes into restaurants and cafes and berates them for poor service because he wants to deliver professional, high quality cooking that is also profitable. Hugh Fernley-Whittingstall, the River Cottage guy, he's all about nature. He cooks because he's celebrating and enjoying nature. Heston Blumenthal is all about innovation and experiment. It's almost like it's a scientific experiment for him. So there are loads of reasons to cook, and they're way different from each other. In fact, they're not even really about cooking. And that's why there's always room for more TV chefs and food writers, because they've got completely different philosophies. And they connect with completely different audiences who are trying to get different things out of cooking. For some people, my wife the other day bought a batch cooking book, because my wife doesn't actually enjoy cooking, but it's something that she feels that she has to get done. So she bought a book that would help her mean that, in a 2-hour period, she could mass cook about 15 different meals that could then go in the freezer. Okay, so that's kind of another way of cooking, because actually, it's about feeding a family, for example, in that situation. Whereas I like cooking because it's not work. It's not, to me, I relax by cooking and I really enjoy it. Let's go back to Jessica. Why does she cook? You need to know. Does Jessica want to be a celebrity chef because she wants to be famous? Maybe. That's interesting. That's one way of going. She wants to make her food look amazing. Taste is secondary. And she's trying to build an Instagram profile. She wants to get on the Bake Off because that'll be a platform for her persona. She's already picking out what she's going to wear each week. She's an attention seeker. So every week she's using food that she does quite well to get attention. So that's one Jessica. Does Jessica want to cook food from scratch, from natural ingredients, because she's trying to protect her family from chemicals and poisons? So she thinks that anything that isn't organic is poisonous. And so this is her way of gathering natural ingredients and also proving that her outlook on life is the correct one. So she's emotionally invested in this. She's always receiving, big bags of stuff from plantations in Sri Lanka and Ecuador, in comically large amounts. And in a way, she kind of has to make the food taste good because it needs to vindicate her own position and paranoia. Does Jessica want to create perfect meals because she has low self-esteem and this is how she thinks she can win approval and acceptance? So she'll slave away over a hot stove and throw away bake after bake until she reaches perfection that will win the affection of her husband or make a friend like her or make her mother like her. So again, it's a function of a relationship in that situation. Does she use food as a way of expressing her superiority over people because she's a snob? So she's all about, trying to do better than other people. And that's her way of competing because she does it well. 4 completely different Jessicas there, but they've all got a quest. They've all got a reason to get out of bed and cook and do the thing that they do. And you can probably think of another 4 or 5, 6 or 7. And I go through some other ones on that webinar, which I'll tell you about at the end. So which Jessica is yours? You need to be clear. You need to know what gets them out of bed or keeps Jessica from going to bed because she's checking the oven every 15 minutes, or she's shelling peas before sunrise, or freezing to death in the wind picking blackberries or mushrooms. Once we know that, then it matters what she does, and therefore it matters when it goes wrong, and therefore we're much more engaged with that character and that quest and that story, because suddenly her whole being is bound up in her quiche, and we can see that quiche symbolizes a whole load of stuff, so that when the person she's watching, when they eat it and they don't like it, it's a disaster, or when they like it, it's just like, yes, it's acceptance. So these are tangible ways in which we show how they're doing in their quests. And that's, again, what you're looking for in sitcoms, particularly, obviously in comedy dramas and dramas too. But I think in sitcoms, you're really looking to crystallize your quest in those moments and those objects. So that's why I think, you want to be investing the character into things that they're doing, and creating objects and moments, and so it's clear what's going on and what the quest is and whether they've succeeded or failed. That's really important. That's how you go about starting a sitcom character. It's what do they want and what do they really want? What are they trying to get out of it? So it's not just about the cooking. They like cooking, but why? Could be all manner of things. Why is this headmistress a headmistress? She wants to create order. She's trying to create order. Children are chaotic. She wants order. Or she wants to prove that her education system is the best. Or she wants to help kids. She's really soft-hearted. She wants to help kids, but actually she's a bad headmistress because she wants to be in the classroom teaching. She's been promoted out of the thing that she actually cares about, and now she's kind of stuck with it. There's a whole load of ways in which your character is trying to impose themselves on the world, impose order in a way that they want. So have a think about that. So you've probably got some beginnings of sitcom characters. Go over them, have a look at them, and just think, why are they doing these things? What is their big quest, and what's going to get them out of bed 6 times in a series, 12 times, 24 times, 80 times, 100 times, because you really need to know an answer to that. And then if you know that, we'll know why it matters, and hopefully storylining those shows will be a whole lot easier. Loads more to be said, and I say it on this webinar that I did a few weeks ago, and you can get access to that. It's an 80-minute webinar, and there's some slides and helpful visuals and that kind of stuff, plus a Q&A as well, in which I answer people's questions. And you can watch it for free by joining the Situation Room. There's a link below. Just go on the mailing list, and you'll be messaged a link to the video, and you can see that. And then also I'll let you know about other bits and pieces that I'm doing. If you don't want to do that, there's my video course as well called Writing Your Sitcom. So look out for those things, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.